What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Real Talk 100, coming live to you. And we're going to talk about Abraham Shakespeare, the guy that won $30 million. Before we get this started, I would like to say thank you for tuning in to Real Talk 100. Give me your feedback about this. Like and subscribe to this. Hit the notification bell when you stay notified when I drop out a new one. Hit the thumbs up, you agree. Hit the thumbs down, you disagree. And don't forget to hit the notification bell when you stay notified when I drop out a new one. So you can follow me on Instagram on Real Talk 100. So let's get this started. Abraham Shakespeare was born in Lakeland, Florida in 1966. His mother's name was Elizabeth, and she had, I'm not sure what she was doing in her lifetime, and she did work before and she had and her daddy is unknown, and the mother's name go by the name Elizabeth. That's what everybody called her back then. So back in the 70s and the 80s, when Abraham Shakespeare was only a teen, it's unknown what he had what he used to do in his lifetime. So I guess the daddy probably left when Abraham Shakespeare was little, when he was a kid. So all this story was unknown. Now, but I know the part is, but y'all can figure that out about what he did when he was a kid. Hit the like button. So when Abraham Shakespeare graduated from high school, he had took a job as a trucker. So he likes to travel. So he took a job as a trucker. So now one day, his co-worker Michael Ford, and he asked him, "Do he want anything out the store? Do he want a soda?" Instead of Abraham told Michael he wanted soda out the store, he wanted him to buy him some lottery tickets. So the lottery tickets ended up going up for $2 each. So when he bought the ticket, one of the tickets was a winning ticket. So when the Florida Lotto winning ticket was worth the $30 million, was sold to a Town Star convenience store in Frostproof, Florida on November 15th, 2006. On the day Abraham Shakespeare and his co-worker Michael Ford was heading towards Miami, when they stopped by the store, a convenience store in Frostproof, to buy drinks and cigarettes, Ford exited the truck and asked Shakespeare, "Do you want a soda?" Shakespeare, instead he wanted the soda. He asked the Ford to buy him 2 lottery tickets. Shakespeare says that he paid for $2 for the lottery tickets. He paid Ford $2 for the lottery tickets, and it came out to $5 he had on him that day. Ford later approached Shakespeare, demanding a share of the jackpot, no less than $1 million. So when Shakespeare won the lottery, Ford wanted Shakespeare to give him no less than $1 million. Shakespeare refused to pay Ford, and Ford went and sued Abraham Shakespeare in court and said that Shakespeare stole the lottery tickets out of Ford's wallet. So when the jury did not believe nothing. Ford did not believe Ford stole the lottery tickets. And the Shakespeare prevailed in the courts. So Shakespeare has chosen up to one sum of a payment of $17 million. So He moved out of his working class neighborhood in Lakeland, Florida, and into a gated community. Certain months he had won the lottery tickets of $1 million home. He only had major purchase of a Nissan Altima, so he bought cars, a Rolex from the pawn shop. Now by the late 2010, so by the late 2010, the sheriff involved in an investigation of Shakespeare's disappearance and told the AP that the lottery money was gone now. Now everybody was finding out that he won that lottery. Now the baby mama, his ex baby mama, wants to sue him for child support for the kids they had shared. Hit the like button. So friends started asking him for money, stated that Shakespeare has grown frustration with a constant appearance of money for both hang-on and strangers. He told his brother, I'd rather be broke. Now, when he won that money, he was out there splurging. He was giving I don't know if he gave this man $10,000 of the money. So everybody wanted Shakespeare to give them money. Friends around the corner want money from him. This person want money. This person want money. That person want money. So what he did, he had bought his mama a house with some of the lottery money. But I'm gonna explain this to you. Let me tell you out. Let me give you something straight real quick. When you win money, you gonna have people trying to do something to you and trying to rob you, trying to keep, and it be your own people, your own friends that you knew. You got to be very careful. Who do you trust around your circle? Because it's gonna be one day you're gonna hit the lottery. I might hit the lottery one day, and all those people that you never seen in years. So let me explain this to you. I had a neighbor. She won $20,000 off a scratch off. Do you know all those people that came over, people I ain't never seen before, came over there off of $20,000? $20,000 is not a lot of money. Hit the like button. And they was going to spend the money until they moved. So she was planning on putting her son out of the house or whatever, because all her kids was grown, whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, your own family can rat you out and get you killed behind lottery money. Now, this is what everybody knew this. Hit the like button. Now, friends stated that Shakespeare has grown frustration with constant appearance of money of both hang-on strangers. He told his brother he rather be broke, and told a childhood friend, I thought all these people were my friends. See, I'm gonna tell you, all these people that you thinking they your friends, them the ones they not your friend. First of all, number one. Number two, you gotta be careful who you call friend, because if a real friend, what might be with you if you have money or not. This is why more money, more problems comes kick in. Now, your friends was only there for your money. Did they realize? He realized all they want is money. All they wanted from me is money. So they treated him like a bank. Now, how he met Doris Moore, known as Dee Dee, how he met her is the woman, I don't know how they met. I don't know how they met, and that's unknown as well. So hit me with the comments at how Abraham Shakespeare met Dee Dee Moore. on the comments. Now, Dee Dee was supposed to be some type of investor, and she took his fund money, redrew $1 million, and bought herself a Hummer, a Chevy Corvette, and a truck, going on vacations, and later claimed all the money was a gift from Shakespeare. So she was taking his money and then going on a vacation trip, her and her husband going to vacations with the money that Shakespeare is supposed to have and supposed to invest this money for her. Now, she realized that the money was not a gift. Now, this is what he messed up at. By meeting this woman and don't know nothing about this woman. Everything was okay until he met this woman. Until he met Do Rice Moore. And Do Rice Moore was a fraud. For number one, she been convicted of fraud and got bankrupt. And we're gonna tell you all this. So on November 9th, 2009, Shakespeare's family reported him missing, stated that they haven't seen him since April of this year. Family and friends had originally hoped that he had taken the money and was living on a beach in Caribbean Sea, tipped off with these investors, and then they had think that he had gone out of town, went to Jamaica, took the money, went to Jamaica or whatever. And before the same time that Moore was trying to make it appear to throw Shakespeare was alive, she's trying to find the person who would take the blame for Shakespeare's death for $50,000. She also offered to pay someone to dig up and move Shakespeare's body into another property showing the records of Moore's company. American medical professional brought Shakespeare's house. So she was selling his house after they digged up the body. Because remember, they didn't know where the body was. And I'm going to tell you how this happens. Now, Moore told investors that she paid Shakespeare $655,000 for his home and paid $185,000 for. However, there was no evidence show she paid Shakespeare anything. So she called herself trying to buy the house with Shakespeare's own money. Hit the like button. And I'm telling you how a snake she is. And nobody never warned him about her. I only know who knew this woman, but this woman was unknown. Nobody know this woman. But if you win, I'm going to tell you, when you win money, the world goes around there. They know you win money. You're going to have people come up to you like, hey, how you doing? How are you winning? Like, congratulations. Let's hook up tonight. We can do something. We can do business together. This is what carried to this situation right here. They'll be like, oh, let me be your investor, and we can do business together. We can this, that, and the third. But you come and find out she is not the one you can trust. She ain't the person who you think she is. I'm giving you an example. And it happens to so many millionaires, and they win these lottery and they start getting killed, and they start spending money, and at the end of the day, they could be going to jail, and they did. Remember, money ruled all evil. Money ruled all evil. You follow me in the comments here. Now, it wasn't no evidence that she ever gave money. So Moore offered the mother of one of Shakespeare's two sons of $200,000 homes if she would take the lie, or if she would lie to detectives and tell them she has seen him recently. She also paid $5,000 to the relative of Shakespeare to give to his mother's birthday card and implied it was from him. You see that? She tried to do the mama too. And I'm gonna tell you one thing about this. She knew what she was doing and give the mama $5,000 of Shakespeare's money. So she been giving his money away to people. Now, although the investors of Moore, it was learned that she had one stage seen fraudulently to keep a vehicle which was in danger and being repossessed after falling behind on the payments. She failed to do the payments. That she had someone store the car in a garage and then pretend she was kidnapped, said she assaulted and carjacked. Investors claim she taped her own wrist and threw herself from someone else's car. She even took a rape exam and she led a plea no contest to the charges and revoked probation because she sitting there doing all these old fake. She out there faking and pretending like, oh, I was in an accident. I've been kidnapped. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing about Dee Dee. Dee Dee was one of Dee Dee, whatever her name is. She was born on July 25th, 1972, was a prime suspect of the death of Abraham Shakespeare, which she had been befriending. She was married to James Moore in 1992 and had a son born in 1995. And in 2001, Doris Moore was convicted of insurance fraud and falsely reported a crime. She received a year probation. Moore filed for bankruptcy in 2002. So now, before the police, remember the body is missing now. So before the police, now again, before the police even found out, on November 9th, 2009, Shakespeare's family reported him missing, stated that they haven't seen him since April. Family and friends was all looking for him. Even Dee Dee Moore looking for him too. She was pretending like she trying to help finding him and finding him and finding him. So the Hillsborough County detective says Shakespeare died between April 6th and April 7th in a single-story ranch home in Plant City. The police took Moore into custody on a $1 million bail. Now, on February 2nd, 2010, in a convicted of murder of Shakespeare, a judge set $1 million bond. I just said it just now. The police stated Moore had tried to convince an acquaintance of unearthed of the body and moved in a week after the death, and he continued to try others, and Shakespeare was still alive. Now, between April 6th and April 7th, or April 7th, I believe it was on April 6th, he was in an office at the place, right? He was in the office at her house. She took out a gun. I guess it was an argument going on. They had gotten into an argument. She pulled out the gun out of her desk and shot and killed Shakespeare. Killed them instantly, and then she killed them more times. So I don't know. So she went and called. I think she went and called her. I don't know if she called her husband, somebody, but some type of way she moved the body and buried it in the backyard. And she going around and she was, I guess, clean up. She was cleaning everything up, and they pretended like she was missing. You see the difference? So February 9th, 2010, Moore was formally charged with the first degree murder. She was charged for that murder. So she stayed in the house for the next court date. Although you cannot trust, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a race. You cannot trust nobody outside your race. I don't give a damn what color you are. Anybody can be a snake. But now how he met this girl, I don't know. Hit the like button. Now, On November 10th, 2012, Moore was convicted of the first-degree murder of killing Shakespeare and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and in addition, mental sentence of 25 years of possession of a gun and course of a violent felony. Now, the difference of Shakespeare's experience of results of winning the lottery and the subsequent murder was a focus of America television program Curse of the Lottery. The part of the episode of The Lottery Changed My Life in 2013. Another episode of American Greed, a July 2013 episode of Deadly Women, and also of the case focusing on Doris Moore's role in a murder. Now, in September 2013, episode of Snap focused on Moore's murder trial. Moore was also featured in the 2011 episode of television show Lockup, which is in the Hillsbury County Jail in Tampa, Florida, on a waiting trial. She stated that she was planning to sell the rights to her story to pay $200,000 for a lawyer who can get her out. Moore denied all charges. Now, in 2023, the story of Shakespeare's murder and Moore arrest was the subject of the first episode of Hulu, Web of Death series in 2024. His case and trial was also explored on Peacock's Buried in the Backyard in 2025. 2020 explodes his case in the trial of episode titled Unlucky Numbers. So she denied she had anything to do with her killing him. But I know in my heart she did this. It's all behind greed, and it's all about being not trustworthy when you win a lottery, you do not tell nobody what do you put in your pocket. You don't tell nobody what you got in your pocket. I don't give a damn. It's a pair of car keys. You don't tell nobody you win the lottery. You do not let everybody know. When you win the lottery, you keep your mouth shut. When you go and sign when you sign that check, so you better put on some type of mask. And that's actually what that other dude did when he won his lottery. He got on a mask, a screen mask. He wore that because he don't want to be known his face. You don't want your face to be shown in the neighborhood after you win that type of money. Hit the like button. But I'm going to tell you again, Dee Moore don't need to be on parole. She needs to stay there for the rest of her life because she went and took advantage and stole his money and tried to say it was a gift and claimed too many people was asking for money. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people asking for money, but she had put the whole icing on the cake by doing some evil shit she been doing. She been a fraud. She had insurance fraud. She was convicted of that. She been a fraud all her damn life. She been a fraud all her life. So when you see that face, remember, those people like that don't need to be out of jail. They need to stay in there for the rest of their life. So I want to thank you for tuning in to Real Talk 100. We're going to put out some more episodes. We're going to put out some more. We're going to put out some more stories. So like and follow and hit the notification bell when you stay notified when I drop out a new one. Y'all stay safe out there. Real talk.